So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sabrina, and I'm the Program Manager for the Mental Health and Addictions Initiative here at RNAO. And it's my pleasure to be here with you today with Michelle Jubin, a mental health consultant from Toronto Public Health and a key member on our advisory committee. Michelle will be presenting on a comprehensive framework for implementing school health initiatives and will begin momentarily. However, we will have time for questions and answers at the end of today's session. And for questions and answers, please do type into the chat box that is located in the middle of the right-hand column of the screen. And welcome, Michelle.
Thanks, Sabrina. So welcome, everyone, to part 2 of the Youth Mental Health and Addiction Champion Project webinar. In this presentation, it's my goal to provide an overview of the Healthy Schools approach and how to use it to support mental health initiatives similar to those that will be developed by participants in the Youth Mental Health and Addictions Champion Project. I will also introduce you to a Healthy Schools toolkit that you can use to support youth leaders, champions, and staff to support mental health initiatives developed from the Youth Mental Health and Addictions Champion Project. And last but not least, I'll provide a general mental health promotion example. Actually, there's several that uses the Healthy Schools approach. And the toolkit that I'm referring to would have gone out as part of the pre-training materials that are targeting our public health leads. So what is a Healthy Schools approach? Well, it's an internationally recognized school health promotion framework. And in Canada, the Healthy Schools approach or framework is also known as comprehensive school health or health promoting schools. So when you see these terms, just know that they are referencing the same thing and they're often used interchangeably. But for the purposes of today's presentation, I'm going to stick with the term Healthy Schools. The principles of a Healthy Schools are drawn from 2 World Health Organization documents, the first being the 1986 Ottawa Charter on Health Promotion and the 1997 Jakarta Declaration. The 1986 Ottawa Charter specifically identified schools as a key setting for health promotion. So just want to caution that using this approach or framework does not create more work. It provides a process of working towards improving school health and educational outcomes overall. The approach helps stakeholders such as students, parents, educators, and health promotion specialists to work and create an environment that makes schools the best place possible to learn, work, and play. At this moment, I'm going to be showing you a video clip produced by Afia, and it gives you a nice breakdown of the Healthy Schools framework.
No matter where you're from, we all want what's best for our kids. Am I right? When it comes to wanting them to be healthy and happy, we're all on the same page. Growing up in today's world has many opportunities, but also has many challenges. The state of health of our young people influences not only how they perceive themselves, but also how they manage life's ups and downs. So let's look at how our kids are doing. By now, it's common knowledge that compared to their parents' generation, kids are facing greater health risks than ever before. They don't eat enough fruits or vegetables. A growing proportion is overweight or obese, and 1 in 5 is battling a mental health issue. Our children are at risk of being the first generation to have a shorter life expectancy. With today's younger generations being faced with so many obstacles, we have to look at how we can work together.
So my apologies, everyone. We're just having some technical difficulties with the video. We're going to actually play it directly from YouTube.
No matter where you're from, we all want what's best for our kids. Am I right? When it comes to wanting them to be healthy and happy, we're all on the same page. Growing up in today's world has many opportunities, but also has many challenges. The state of health of our young people influences not only how they perceive themselves, but also how they manage life's ups and downs. So let's look at how our kids are doing. By now, it's common knowledge that compared to their parents' generation, kids are facing greater health risks than ever before. They don't eat enough fruits or vegetables. A growing proportion is overweight or obese, and 1 in 5 is battling a mental health issue. Our children are at risk of being the first generation to have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. With today's younger generations being faced with so many obstacles, we have to look at how we can work together to make it better. So, let's look at the big picture. It's estimated that Earth is now home to over 7 billion people. 7 billion. We all have a role to play in working with our kids to help them lead healthy, active lives. Since we can all agree on wanting what's best for our kids, what can we do to help them? People from around the world are making healthy schools a priority. It goes by different names in different parts of the world. In Latin America, they use the term health-promoting schools. In Germany, good, healthy schools. Even in the United States and Canada, terms vary from coordinated school health to comprehensive school health. But whether it's called healthy schools or something else, the goal is the same. So what is a healthy school? You're probably wondering. Well, a healthy school involves the whole community coming together to share ideas, plan, take action. What we're really talking about is an approach that involves all of us. When this is done, young people will be better equipped to meet the challenges of today and tomorrow. They'll be empowered to make healthy choices and manage the risks they face, whatever they may be. Those sounds pretty simple, right? And what we're talking about here isn't a one-person show. A healthy school really takes more than just the kids and school staff. It takes a community. You know the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. Whether you work in recreation, education, public health, local business, or you're a parent or a child, you can do this. Healthy Schools is about empowering kids so their voice can be heard. By engaging kids in leadership opportunities, they'll know from an early age that they can have an impact on themselves, their peers, their classroom, their school, and their community. Because really, healthy living can't just begin and end around the school day. We have to look at what happens before and after school as well. Hey, you still with me? In order to work towards healthy schools, let's start with the basics. Think of it like building a house. Now, let's start by pouring our foundation. It's important for everyone to understand the issues facing kids in your community. It could be physical activity, healthy eating, mental health, or bullying, to name a few. Not sure what they are? Talk to people in your area and make kids an important part of this discussion. Now that you've got your foundation, let's put up our walls. By offering quality programs at school that are delivered and supported by community members, we can provide fun, safe programming that meets kids' needs. If increasing physical activity is your priority, you can offer a variety of activities throughout the year to encourage kids to participate and be active. The physical environment also has an impact on kids. For example, healthy eating can be addressed by building a vegetable garden at your school. Then you can start a breakfast or snack program that is free of charge, available to everyone, and offers healthy food choices. Local businesses can get involved by providing access to fresh local food, and students and school staff can get involved by providing fresh vegetables from the school garden. It's obvious offering only healthy foods makes it easier for kids to engage in healthy eating. And they might even bring some of those habits home with them. When we look at a positive social environment, all kids are informed, engaged, and empowered to be active members in their communities. For example, if tobacco use is an issue, youth can form a group to empower their peers to make informed choices. Utilizing the strengths of other community members supports partnerships. Partnerships allow you to access services and resources in your community. Coordinating something like a walking program where participants clear local trails and routes makes them safe and accessible for everyone. Getting support from community partners like seniors groups involves the whole community. Now you've got your 4 walls, but what if it snows? Great need of roof. This starts with gathering community members and talking about how you can and do support kids in your community. And to keep your roots strong, keep those conversations going. Now that you've built your understanding and a pretty great house, it's up to all of us to make this happen. Help spread the word. Raise awareness for the importance of healthy schools by talking to community members about what you've learned and engage them in working towards and growing healthy schools in your community. You're not alone. OFEA and many other organizations are here to help, offering resources and services that will support you in taking action. And taking action only leads to success. Remember, healthy schools, healthy communities.
So to recap, the Healthy Schools approach looks at schools holistically and addresses all 4 components of the Ministry of Education's Foundation for a Healthy School. When we look at this model a bit further, the 4 components include high-quality instruction and programs, a healthy physical environment, a supportive social environment, and community partnerships. The effectiveness and sustainability of this approach relies on partnerships between health, education, parents, students, and community stakeholders. So as mentioned in the previous slide, Healthy Schools has 4 distinct but interrelated components. I'm going to take some time now to get into a little bit of what the different components mean. When we're referring to high quality instruction and programs, we're talking about ways to help students learn and practice skills. Equally, when we look at the healthy physical environment, we're trying to explore ways to make schools healthier and safer. When we pay attention to the supportive social environment, this examines ways to provide a welcoming and inclusive environment. And last but not least, the community partnership pillar looks at strategies to work together with partners to promote a healthy school community. So when a school community engages its students, staff, parents, or caregiver, and community partners to address all 4 of the components of the Healthy Schools framework, it enables schools to achieve its health goals. Essentially, addressing these components provides opportunities to reinforce healthy messages in the classroom, the home, and the school environment. As we know, when students are surrounded with health messages in all aspects of their lives, it makes it easier for them to integrate them into their own lives and make healthier choices. So in this part of the presentation, I would like to introduce you to the Healthy Schools Toolkit and ways it can be used to support the Youth Mental Health Addictions and Champion project. So this toolkit was designed to systematically guide users through the steps of creating a healthier school. If you have a copy of the toolkit with you, the steps towards implementing a Healthy Schools approach is covered from pages 1 to 14 of the document. The remaining pages are sample resource sheets that can facilitate the process of systematically implementing any health promotion initiative, program, or policy in schools, including the Youth Mental Health Addiction and Champion project. You are encouraged to adapt strategies to suit your local context and needs by using all or any of the resources outlined in the document. So what are the steps involved in this approach? Well, implementing the Healthy Schools model to support initiatives like the Youth and Mental Health and Addictions Champion project requires 4 key steps. Step 1 is to form some sort of committee or to add a health initiative like the Youth Mental Health and Addictions Champion project to an existing school health or wellness-related committee. Keep in mind that by having students trained as youth leaders and youth champions, you will automatically have the basis for a health committee formed. Sustainability planning starts with the people you recruit, so forming partnerships between students and adults such as school staff and parents is ideal to work through the steps towards a healthier school. You may also want to consider recruiting students in from younger grades. Step 2 involves assessing members of your school community such as students, staff, parents, to identify strengths and needs. Essentially, this is the part where you're conducting a needs assessment, and this can be done by developing a customized survey or assessment or working based on an assessment that has been already conducted, since schools often conduct their own needs assessments to identify health trends in their school that may include questions about mental health. Essentially at this step, you're trying to find out what are your school's needs, what do students, staff, and parents think are the strengths and needs of your school. In step 3, this involves developing and carrying out your action plan, including as many key stakeholders that represent a school community, such as students, teachers, administrators, parents, community agencies, to plan strategies for implementing health promoting programs, policies, or messages encourages buy-in and success. To maximize your success, include students in the development and aim to add activities into your action plan over time that addresses the 4 components of the Healthy Schools approach. So to recap, your strategy should aim to address high-quality instruction and programs. So for example, you might want to look at ways to integrate the Youth Mental Health and Addictions Champion activities to support overall mental health curriculum in the school. You want to look at a healthy physical environment, and for example, you might want to use the tool that's being used to support Youth and Mental Health Addiction Champion initiatives. You want to work towards a supportive social environment. So many school boards have developed policies to support mental wellness in schools, and there's maybe work already happening to decrease stigma as a result. Developing community partnerships. So for example, many schools may already have a relationship with public health units and organizations such as the RNAL to support mental health work in their environment. Looking at step 4, we want to evaluate and celebrate our achievements. Getting feedback of the outcomes from implementing a health promotion initiative allows your committee to further improve health promotion work implemented in schools. And at this stage, you want to know what worked, what could have been improved, and how to plan better for next school year. You also want to celebrate the work that has been implemented. Not only does this foster good morale amongst stakeholders, it acknowledges work contributions and the collaborations often required to create healthy school environments. So next on the screen, there is an example of a poster, and this poster attempts to demonstrate how a Healthy Schools approach can be used to promote mental health by engaging parents, community partners, and school staff. I want to note that the poster you see on the screen is a broad-based example. And so in Toronto, public health nurses have used this poster to facilitate basic discussions about how to promote mental health promotion in schools. And we are starting to understand that many schools may already have some of these great mental health strategies in place, and that's great. The Youth Mental Health Addictions and Champion Project provides yet another opportunity to advance youth mental health by engaging students, staff, parents, and community partners when applicable and depending on your local context. So if you look at the toolkit, resource sheets 23 and 28 give more examples of activities that can be implemented to address mental health topics such as stress and anxiety, bullying prevention, and it really emphasizes the use of the 4 Healthy Schools components. Next on the screen, we see a very specific example of the resource tool that I was referring to. And in this instance, we've got the Healthy Schools components being applied to comprehensively address stress and anxiety. And these types of initiatives that are in place for stress and anxiety would have been implemented after conducting some sort of needs assessment. Finally, here are some links where you can find some more information and resources about the Healthy Schools approach. We've got the Ontario Ministry of Education. There's the Toronto Public Health website that allows you to also download the content as well. And last but not least, there's a Pan-Canadian Joint Consortium for School Health that also provides a good overview of the comprehensive school health. If you have any questions, certainly we're going to open the floor for you to either text or ask directly any questions you might have about this approach. And you're also more than welcome to email us, so myself Michelle Jubin, and that's mjubin@toronto.ca, or my colleague Jennifer Burgess, and her email is jburgess@toronto.ca.
So thank you, Michelle, for the wonderful presentation. We'll now open up the lines for any questions. So again, if you can either directly ask your question or type it into the chat box or send me an email if neither of those work, me being Sabrina, be more than pleased to answer your questions at this point. Thank you.
You can also feel free to email Sabrina Morelli as well. To recap, her email address is smerali@rnao.ca.